sir?
Nothing much. Disclaimer, Samantha Ames just walked in a couple minutes ago.
Hey, Sam, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank
Hello, we're here today with a leader of a large organization here in Brevard County. And today we'll be doing an interview with him to have some insight into what it's like to be a leader of a large organization. So, sir, what is your personal definition of success?
Well, being happy, being healthy, being productive in my job and my home life, making enough money to pay my bills and to save a little bit for retirement, and just doing a good job every day.
That sounds fantastic. Could you please describe 3 attributes or abilities that have helped you become successful as a leader?
Yes, I try to stay positive at all times, even when the situation might not be that positive. I try to be knowledgeable. So if things are coming up, I want to know about them. I want to be educated. I want to understand what's going on, because I can't explain anything to the people who work for me if I don't understand it. Okay? And a third thing I probably would say, I like to sprinkle in a little common sense when things come down to the nitty-gritty. It's not always black and white. There's difficult decisions that need to be made, but if we just use a little common sense, that helps things go over better. And try to use a little sense of humor with it.
Yeah, I love the way you put that.
Thank you.
For you, what is the most important aspect of success?
I think having people that want to do their best for you when they work for you, and your retention rate remains high, that you're not turning over people because one, they may not be trained properly, or you might not have hired the right fit for the position. So being able to keep people and keep people happy, keep people engaged in their job is one of the most important things that I think of, especially in my job, where we take care of people that are sick and injured. So if I have good, happy people, dedicated people, engaged people, that's the most important thing for me.
That's perfect. I love that. Could you please describe a time when you had to be resilient in your job?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, they decided to make some leadership changes, and a lot of my peers that were supervisors and managers and leaders of this company were terminated and let go. And there was only a few of us left. And I definitely had to be resilient then. I had to show my worth by doing a good job. And after 6 months or so, they realized that I was a keeper. And that was the good thing about that. Because nobody wants to lose their job. But when new management comes in, sometimes they think a change is what's needed. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. So I got through that, and I think I was pretty resilient to do so.
Wow, that had to be really scary to watch all of that going around.
Yeah, it was sad. You see a lot of people that you've worked with for many years suddenly out of a job and a paycheck.
Wow. It's super real. Thanks. How do you handle different personalities in the workplace?
That's one I had to kind of learn over the years. I used to have a sign up on the wall that said, you have to remember that each person is wired differently, and you need to figure out how to connect with that person. So, yes, that's a great question. Some people are male, female, young, old, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, and their ways of thinking might be a little bit different than yours. So sometimes when I'm not agreeing with somebody, I just call them in and I explain to them, here's what I need from you, and explain what you're thinking. And I sit and I listen to them. And then a lot of times I can understand where they're coming from when I didn't understand it in the first place. So yeah, that's a tricky one there. But you just have to be open and realize that everybody is definitely different. And hopefully you come to terms and agreements. But the main thing is we have to do our job. The JOB is what we have to do. Want to have a little FUN, a little fun? That's cool too, but everybody's got to take care of their job.
Yeah, that's definitely what they're there for. You just got to figure out how to make it better for them. Thank you. Do you have any advice that you would like to give someone who would like to be in a management position, whether it be any kind of work field?
Yeah, well, you know, like anything, there's pros and cons to being the boss, right? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility. Ultimately, it falls on your head. And as I stated before in one of the other questions, that, you know, if things aren't working out, a lot of times they cut off the head of the snake, and that's the manager or the supervisor. So, yeah, management has its pros and cons. You know, you need to get out of here and go to a dentist appointment or something like that. You can do that usually. You're not the guy that's punching in and out, that has to stay there, but you're the guy that's ultimately responsible. Yeah, management makes a little more money. That's a good thing. It's good being the boss sometimes, but also when things go bad, it can be bad being the boss. But I think if you have a desire to do it, you know, get your education and give it a shot. You know, and if it's not for you, you can always go back, resign, do something different. But I've enjoyed management, but I'll tell you, the first year or two was the hardest time, getting adjusted to everything. So you got to give it a little time, get adjusted. You know, there was many sleepless nights trying to figure it all out.
Wow, sounds like a lot of pressure on you, huh?
Yes.
Thank you, sir, for your time and answering these probing questions. Really appreciate it. Thanks for providing that insight to what it is like to be a leader in a large organization, which someday I hope to do as well. Thank you.